What has Penny Power done for us? It's funded drainage projects, built roads and sidewalks, given us new community parks.
We have done most of the city's infrastructure, and it's because of this one penny.
The simple fact of the matter is that without SPLOST, we would have had to raise millage or property taxes to cover the cost of these projects.
Millages hurt businesses, hit businesses, affect businesses more than anybody else.
Businesses and people too. Let's take a look at what we've done with our SPLOST dollars recently. Ellis Square. We removed an eyesore, doubled our parking capacity, and restored Ellis Square to a public place after 5 decades.
As a community, you're either investing in the future or you're treading water waiting to drown. SPLOST is investment in infrastructure and amenities for our community to remain competitive and vibrant.
In Sustainable Fellwood, we used SPLOST funds to create the infrastructure to support over 100 environmentally friendly housing units on the former Fellwood home site. Our investment was a catalyst for private investment, a win-win for the community and the city.
Look what public housing looked like in Savannah 20 years ago, and look at it now. People are living in very comfortable facilities. You won't know whether they are paying market rent or they're in a low-income assistance housing. People need to live in decent housing.
Let's spend a minute thinking about summer thunderstorms and flooding. Midtown Savannah, Chatham Crescent, the majority of Ardsley Park, and Olin Heights all have better drainage. So do areas on the west side, the Wilshire Basin and Paradise Park.
And so it's important that we reflect on what SPLOST has done. I think it's the best thing that the voters can possibly do in terms of a bang for the buck.
We must also keep in mind that SPLOST dollars generate more dollars down the road. Let's look at the Trade Center.
Over 900,000 hotel rooms have been sold throughout the metropolitan Savannah area as a result of those conventions and meetings that have happened at the Trade Center over the last 10-year period. $250 million of visitor spending in our community has happened as a result of the Trade Center being there.
There are other improvements almost too numerous to mention, from ADA ramps and public safety video surveillance to fire stations and improvements to the railroad and children's museums. Recreational facilities like the Bacon Park Tennis Complex, the Soccer Complex, and the Chatham County Aquatic Center. And we can't forget the improved libraries and new libraries all over town, even the new Chatham County Jail. The point is that SPLOST works. And there's one other thing we need to keep in mind about our SPLOST dollars.
And over 40% of that has been paid for by visitors to the county, by people that live elsewhere and work in Chatham County. I don't think you can get a better bargain than that.
We are a world-class tourist destination. SPLOST is our opportunity to allow our guests to invest in our community. There are many reasons why we should vote to continue SPLOST.
The most important for this council is that we fulfill our commitment to build an arena. And if you recall, during the last SPLOST, it was listed as one of the projects. But as you know, we fell into a recession and the revenue did not come in as everyone had projected. So we're still saying this is our top priority and we will be building an arena.
And it's going to be close proximity to downtown, and we're going to make some wonderful pedestrian corridors that will allow us to get to the bars and restaurants. So it'll be a great experience, and it'll also push new development toward that west side, which is part of also growing our community.
Another major plus on the next SPLOST, the completion of Project Duran. For many years, this congested artery has posed a real problem, but the $11 million allotted in the next SPLOST will enable a 5-to-1 federal match.
So our local match that this SPLOST will allow gets us the federal match money to raise basically $60 million to fix that problem.
President Street, a vital artery between downtown and the islands, is another bottleneck. Continuing SPLOST will help alleviate problems with this major thoroughfare. From the west side to the east side, There are funds allotted for every part of Chatham County, including money for beach renourishment on Tybee Island. We're looking to the future as well. Let's face it, we haven't had a major hurricane in over 100 years. Part of surviving a hurricane is recovering from the storm, and that means giving Chatham Emergency Management Agency the tools to do the job.
We really don't have a facility in Chatham County now that will withstand a Category 5 hurricane. So what we're proposing to do is to build a new emergency management center just inside the Montgomery Street gate on Hunter Army Airfield. This will allow us to really carry on the function of government in the event of a Category 5 or 4 hurricane in this county.
Let's talk about jobs for a minute. The Savannah Economic Development Authority, or SEDA, plays the lead role in bringing high-paying jobs to the area. But their business parks are full. SEDA is basically out of space for businesses to relocate and grow. With new SPLOST dollars, we will fix this problem.
The $30 million for the Economic Development Authority is critical because that money will be there to attract manufacturers that will create jobs.
It's very critical that we put the infrastructure in place to compete for those new, high-paying, high-wage, high-tech jobs in the future.
As you make your decision, we'd like to remind you of a couple of things. First, 27 years of major infrastructure improvements, including the Truman Parkway, now in its final phase. Private investment in the revitalization of public housing. The restoration of a classic Savannah Square. Second, SPLOST allows our guests to invest in our community.
It's like getting a coupon when you go to the grocery store. You know, you're getting something off that you wouldn't have had otherwise. In our case, we get 38% off on SPLOST because visitors help us carry the tab.
So be sure to vote for Penny Power this November. Renew SPLOST. It's an investment in the future, an investment in ourselves.